On the morning of May 28, 1943, the Atlantic Ocean swallowed a secret that was never supposed to exist. The official record would later say that the U.S. cargo ship SS Meridian Star was lost to severe weather somewhere in the mid-Atlantic. No enemy contact, no distress signal, just another vessel claimed by the war. That explanation satisfied the public. It did not satisfy the Navy. At the height of World War II, ships disappeared every week. German U-boats hunted relentlessly, and convoy losses were expected. But the Meridian Star stood out. She vanished without chaos, without violence, without warning. Her final transmission was calm, procedural, and wrong. The ship had departed Norfolk carrying supplies for Allied forces in North Africa. Officially, she transported vehicle parts, medical equipment, and radio components. Unofficially, she carried something else, something never meant to be acknowledged in open records. Lieutenant Thomas Hale commanded the Meridian Star's navigation. He had crossed the Atlantic more than a dozen times. He trusted charts, stars, and instruments because they rarely all failed together. At 06:14 hours, Hale ordered a routine position check. Every instrument agreed. Every conclusion was impossible. The coordinates placed the ship hundreds of miles off course, deep into waters she should not have reached for days. Hale recalculated. He ordered a second check, then a third. The ocean was calm. The sky was dull and gray. There was no storm, no current strong enough to explain the discrepancy. At 06:17 hours, the radio came alive, not with static, with voices. The words were English, but arranged strangely, as if borrowed from another time. The signal did not match any known frequency. Beneath the voices was a rhythmic hum, mechanical and distant, like a massive engine breathing far below the surface. Ahead of the ship, the fog began to glow. It was not lightning, it was not reflection, it was light rising from beneath the sea. The engine slowed, then stopped. That was the last confirmed log entry. What the public never knew was that the Meridian Star was transporting classified research equipment tied to a forgotten wartime initiative known as Project PALISADE. PALISADE was not a weapon. It was not part of the Manhattan Project. It existed alongside it, buried under naval research budgets and mislabeled paperwork. Its purpose was navigation without geography. Naval researchers had noticed anomalies during long-range patrols. Submarines returned sooner than expected. Flight crews reported lost time. Coordinates sometimes failed to match distances traveled. Most reports were dismissed as stress or error. A few were not. Palisade theorized that under rare electromagnetic conditions, large bodies of water could distort reference frames, affecting location, time, or both. The prototype device built to test this theory was experimental, unstable, and enormous. That device was welded into the Meridian Star's hold. Lieutenant Hale was never informed. At 11:42 p.m. on the same day the ship disappeared, a coastal radar station in Florida detected a vessel approaching from open water. The ship carried no transponder signal. After repeated hails, a calm voice responded. "Meridian Star requesting harbor clearance." The ship was escorted in under armed guard. Of the original 47 crew members, only 31 remained. None showed signs of physical injury. Several could not recall their enlistment dates. 2 believed the war had already ended. One sailor repeatedly asked why the stars were wrong. Medical officers noted accelerated aging in 4 men by as much as 10 years. All crew members were separated, questioned, and bound by permanent non-disclosure agreements. The Meridian Star herself was towed back out to sea 1 week later and deliberately sunk. The incident was erased. Logs were altered, records reassigned. Families were told nothing. By 1946, Project PALISADE no longer existed on paper, but its survivors carried consequences. Several died in psychiatric institutions. One vanished in 1958. Another, Ensign Robert Klein, broke silence decades later. In 1974, a graduate student researching World War II convoy losses filed a routine Freedom of Information Act request. One response packet arrived mislabeled. Inside was a single memo stamped Project PALISADE terminated. Handwritten at the bottom were the words, "We did not move the ship moved us." Modern physics no longer dismisses the theories PALISADE explored: space-time distortion, localized frame shifts, navigation without geography. The Atlantic remains vast, and somewhere beneath it, the coordinates that swallowed the Meridian Star still exist, not erased, waiting. History remembers what it is allowed to remember. The rest does not disappear, it sinks.